Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while that I just made a video. Gonna post it to my channel. Gonna get back into the whole making videos about games thing. It's gonna be a review on World of Warcraft, Mr. Pandaria, the new expansion. It's been out about a month now, so it gave me some time to get into detail about everything and figure shit out that's actually out. I think they did a really good job with this expansion. There's a lot of shit to do. I mean, a lot. There's like 6 new factions you can get to Exalted to get new stuff. There's This expansion isn't about a specific boss. It doesn't focus on a boss like Cataclysm did, Wrath did, or Burning Crusade did. It's about the actual war between the Alliance and the Horde. It also introduces a new race, the Pandas, which are Pandaren. We're going to just call them Poes, because that's what they are. They seen that movie when they had no idea. I was like, oh my god, let's make an expansion pack on that. I think it's cool that the new race is a panda. I don't have a problem with that, but I do feel kind of gypped that there's not 2 races. Every expansion that has came out has had 2 races: Burning Crusade, Draenei, and Blood Elf. Lich King didn't have a new race. It came out with a new class, so that was okay. Cataclysm came out with the Worgens and the goblins, almost called them golems, goblins, and then this one came out with the pandas. And I think they could have came up with another race for the on the pandas. I mean, there's the sushi, not the sushi, the what are they called? The Jinyus, the little merfolk guys. That could have been a race for the horde, because I'm sorry, pandas. Come on now. You think Alliance when you look at them. I don't care who you are. You're not going to tell me otherwise. They're an Alliance character. The PvE is really fucking good right now. The dungeons, I'm a bit pissed off on heroics. They're too easy. They're heroics. They're way too easy. I mean, I went in there with PvP gear and was still doing, I don't know, 20 something K DPS and just full PvP gear, and that's retarded. The heroics are way too easy. They say the challenge mode is supposed to be harder, and I've done a challenge dungeon. It is a lot harder, but a heroic is supposed to be hard as well. The challenge mode should be ridiculous. That's why they got the times there. It should be ridiculous. The raids, haven't really got into the raids yet, but I'm going to. The PvP, I love the new battlegrounds. Battlegrounds are great. My favorite one is the mines and the orbs. The orb match is pretty much a fucking shit storm. You got to grab these orbs and you run to the middle to get 5 points. If you're outside the middle, you get 2 points, but it gives you a buff. You do more damage over time, but you also take more damage, which is great, and it makes it really fast, intense, and fun. But it's a fucking shitstorm. It's a shitstorm in that BG. The questing is very streamlined. You can go anywhere and do anything in Pandaria. If you want a harder challenge, you can go to a different zone and do something. But the leveling, that's another problem. It's way too easy to get to 90 from 85. You could do it in a day. If you wanted to, you could do it in a day. I mean, it's not hard at all. Especially if you did it the way these speedrunners did it. You grind a dungeon to 86. Wow. Took that today, huh? Grind a dungeon to 86 and then you just do quests. Or you do mob tagging if you got some friends that'll mob tag for you. I think overall the game is great. The monk class is awesome. It's really fun to play. I do think it needs nerfed in PvP because they just get around way too fast. You can't catch them. You can't. If they're running a flag in a battleground that has a flag, good luck catching them, because you got the roll, the chi torpedo, the flying dragon kick, which is ridiculous. And God forbid they have momentum as a ability, as a talent, because when they roll, they get a speed boost, and then they roll again, it goes up to 50%. So essentially, if you're on Warsong Gulch, they can grab the flag as a brewmaster, which is the tank. I'll get into that into a second. They can grab the flag, get the sprint buff, sprint all the way down the aisle, roll, run for 8 seconds, roll again, have a 50% boost, then flying serpent kick. By this time, they'll be on the other side of the map, and then they could chi torpedo and be all the way up the fucking ramp. That gets crazy. You can't catch them. My main's a shaman. You frost shock them, they still fucking get the fuck away. There's 3 new specs. One class, 3 specs. Every class has 3 specs. So Brewmaster, which is the tank, the Mistweaver, which is the healer, and is that right? I think it's the Mistweaver. No, Mistweaver is the DPS. What is the healer? I'm gonna say Windwalker. I think Windwalker is either DPS or Mistweaver is DPS, whatever. But that's the 3 ones: Brewmaster, Windwalker, and Mistweaver. And you can't kill a monk healer. It's fucking hard as shit because they can damage you and heal at the same time. And spinning crane kick, then you got the soothing mist, and the tanks are hard to kill too. The DPS ones aren't that hard to deal with. I mean, they got a lot of stuns. The Fist of Fury can stun you the entire duration. You got paralysis, and they can kite you and all that. But other than that, they're squishy. The tanks suck. It's like fighting a blood death knight. It's hard. But the PvP overall, I like the fact that it's really balanced. A lot of classes are doing the same burst wise. Swifty just made a video about who has the highest burst, and fucking warriors are nuts, man. They are killing people in like 2 seconds flat, literally. But other than that, though, every other class has got pretty much the same burst capabilities. It's between like 6 to 8 seconds, and they can burst you down. So that's good. I think they did a really good job on balancing the classes, except for warlocks. Warlocks, man, are ridiculous right now. They can fucking back-to-back instant fear your ass, lock you down. There's just nothing you can do. If you're fighting a warlock by yourself and you're a melee class, if you're not like a death knight, good luck, or a warrior, good luck. It's hard, man. It's hard beating them. I think they're a little OP. Yeah, very OP actually. Almost makes me want to roll warlock, but I just don't like the class. I don't like them. I play enhancement shaman. I think shamans have got really, really awesome this expansion pack. I think they're really awesome right now, especially enhancement burst. I'm killing people in like 6 seconds. I do like the new talents. I will say I have an issue with some of them, like the elemental one for level 90. I think the elemental one is a bit shit because unless you glyph the actual fire elemental, it still has I think it's a minute or 2 minutes when you summon it, and then it dies. That's it. That's all you get. I think if they're gonna have that ability, it needs to be like mage's water elemental. It needs to be permanent, point blank. It needs to be permanent, and it follows you around. It does until it goes away, but it still needs to be permanent. The thing doesn't have any stun abilities or any abilities that can root you in place. It doesn't slow you down. It can empower you, which gives you a boost to damage, but that's it. Other than that, it's got Emoliate, which is a dot. They got Fire Nova and Fire Blast, which are AoEs. That's it. Other than that, I don't think the damage is worth it. I would go with the one that gives you, I think it's 3,500 Mastery or Haste as the last talent. But I think the enhancement is really well done. Other than that, I think there's not a lot of gear for enhancement shamans right now. I've done all the dungeons. There's not a lot of gear at all. I mean, you're better off just farming justice points until you can get some shit. And the only real weapon you should be concerned about is the epic fist weapon, but that thing never drops. Haven't played my Death Knight a little bit. I haven't got her to 90 yet, so I can't really say any gear about that. But other than that, I think the shaman gear got the short end of the stick, or maybe just gear period. I don't see a lot of drops dropping from multiple classes. I don't know. I don't see a lot of drops dropping from multiple classes. I don't like the fact that everyone has a base health and a base mana pool based on your level. It's not based on your stats or your gear anymore. I think that's kind of bullshit. Why would I have better gear than someone if they have the same health, or the same mana pool? I think that's kind kind of crappy decision Blizzard made. But overall, the pros and the cons, I think Mists of Pandaria has gotten back to its roots in vanilla, and it's they did it really well. The PvE is phenomenal, even though it may be you can blow through it and get to 90 in no time. If you actually take your time and enjoy it, there's a lot of cinematics, a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of stuff. The crafting system, I think they revamped it, and it's very well done. I think they made it too casual for crafting to get it up there. My jewel crafting and mining I did in a day. I maxed it, and that was while questing. So if you just did it purely doing your professions, I think you could get it from the max in Cataclysm to 600 in maybe an hour or two. But I do like the way that you can get new recipes, and it's more streamlined, but it's not as hard. It's nowhere near as time consuming, and I can see why they would do that for the new people they're trying to pull in. So I think the graphic system is very well done so far. I haven't had any problems with it. I think I covered everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the people that are saying World of Warcraft is dying, you're fucking stupid. The game's been out for 10 years. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Until there's two main groups that play this game: people for PvE and PvP. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, World of Warcraft has the best PvP I've ever played in my life. Even though it has issues, even though it sucks sometimes where classes are just rolling people for no reason, it still has the most entertaining and detailed PvP I've ever played. And I've played a lot of games. I've played a lot of MMOs that has PvP, and they can't touch it. They can't touch WoW. They can't touch the skill it takes to play as a top level PvPer is retarded. It's ridiculous. It takes skill to do it. The PvP that they just came out with is amazing. If they can keep the level of PvE they came out with, content that's coming up in the new patches in the 2 years or the year and a half of this expansion that'll be out, and the next one, I don't think WoW's going to go down anytime soon. Now, when the PvE aspect of the game disappears, I think the subscribers will drop substantially, and it'll just be the core PvP people that stay there for PvP, and the people who do PvE will only be there, and if they want to max out other characters or want to do other classes that they haven't experienced. I will say other games like Guild Wars 2 and Star Wars: The Old Republic will probably be the top 3 when that happens, but until that point, WoW's not getting taken down. It's just not going to happen. There's too many people that play the game. But that's just my thoughts.